look here. Now, when we started this audible and visual journey, Boss and I, which we'll see if he comes, but Boss and I was saying things was gonna get real in this show.
This is
And
true.
if you never played the game, things was gonna get real. Now, when this show started, there was personally three things I was looking out for. Thing number one, the finale, because I want the show to end like the game. Thing number two, Sam and Henry, because I knew how Sam and Henry ended, and I wanted to see how it was going to play out. But the number one thing I was truly waiting on was the portrayal of David.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning, of course, spoiler warning, any other warnings, because we're going to get to the nitty gritty. Welcome to another episode of Car Chronicles Reviews, lesson of HBO's The Last of Us with the LessThanStealthyNinjas. I'm Scootaloo. We got the gore horror, Run Your Miss.
Hello.
We don't know if King Cordy is going to jump in or not, but
He probably
if
been in a pile.
King Cordy shows up, King Cordy shows up. Now, there will be some themes and topics we will discuss that may trigger. So we will try our best to be as respectful as we can be. But if there are jokes, just know it's not in mean taste. We're not trying to shame. We're not trying to hurt. We're not trying to perpetuate or anything. Everything will be based around this episode.
Yep.
So, for those who are and are not familiar with the game, this episode opens up, which we now see the fallout with Joel, that, Joel is in his house. He's in bad shape. He's worse for wear. Boy's looking rough.
Very
You know
rough.
what I'm saying? He took a bat to the gut, And Ellie is still trying to patch him up and everything. And we need substance. We need food. You know what I'm saying? It's getting dire. But also, we see David and his peeps. We see, his village and his followers and
his cult.
You know what? I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to pass it over to the one who's never experienced the game. The moment you saw David and his peeps, what was your thoughts? What was your, that whole little setting of them at the table, that whole little scene? What was your thoughts with all of that?
Cult. That's what I thought. Cult. I was like, they're 2 seconds away from drinking the juice and falling out. I know that. Yeah, I know that during times of direness that somebody has to take the lead in leading religion. However, first look at him, I was like, nah, I don't trust him. Off top, I was like, I don't trust him.
Okay.
No. And then I was like, it seems like everybody in the town is there, which makes me feel like that's a requirement. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. If I remember correctly, in the game, I felt like it was kind of, I don't remember if you met that many people. If King Cordy was here, I don't remember there being that many people. But once again, it's been 10 years since I played the game. But yes, it does seem like if you're not away on a mission, you're in that cafe restaurant.
Right. And I'm just like, that seems sus to me because a lot of apocalyptic type things, when they have a church of any sort, it's more of a come as you are, we accept everybody, and you always have stragglers. If you think about the Purge movies, I just recently watched From, you have a small church that has a few people in it, but it's not everybody because it's an option. So when I look at everybody, I'm like, this cool. Because I know it's got to be one person that's sitting there like, I want to be at home in the warmth.
Now, Trigger warning, insert here.
Yes.
How did you feel when he cast old girl to the ground?
Listen, I was like, oh, he one of them. I knew
Yeah.
he was a cult leader because I don't know why this is, but cult leaders always seem to be all of their natural morals that you would normally have in regular times are cast to
Mhm.
the side. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? I don't even care. Like I'm just gonna knock the shit out of you, and I'm the head person. So who gonna check me about it?
Who gonna
And
check?
it's like
Exactly. Who gonna check me?
exactly. I was
Um.
like, uh oh.
Now, his right hand man, I think his name was James, right? I think so. His right hand man, David's right hand man. Did you watch the featurette after?
No, but boss told me.
Oh, well, his right hand man is the voice for Joel in the game.
I
So
remember
it,
boss
so
telling
it
me,
was
and then
like okay, Troy Baker, but yeah,
after I
um,
watched it, I double checked with him, and actually he had just messaged me before this, and he was like, "Yeah," he was like, "That's him." I said, "Oh, okay, okay, I got
yeah.
it." He's
So
a
it was
nice
good to
looking
see.
man too.
Oh yeah, he and the credits to his name, man puts in work. He puts
Impressive.
in work in these voice acting streets.
Amen.
Like
Make you.
like he putting in work in these voice acting streets. Like ever since Last of Us, from Last of Us up until now, he's been putting work between him and Nolan North. Work in these voice acting streets.
Nice.
Um, Actually, if I remember correctly, Nolan North was David, and Nolan North is the voice of Nathan Drake in the video
Oh,
game.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
and if
yeah.
I remember correctly, I think Nolan North was the voice of David in the show. I mean, the game. But
Nice.
all right, so we meet David. We meet his whole little crew. Um, Basically, we find out they're running out of food too. And did you get the hint when he made the comment? Well, we can't bury your father now. The ground is too cold. We got to do it in the
Immediately,
spring. Did you get?
immediately, I played a forest.
Okay. So
Immediately, I went. Mm-hmm.
so
Okay.
we will. If you of course watch the episode, which I hope you have, but we
Yeah,
find out that they was eating people,
yeah. Me a
but
candy bear.
they were straight. And then jumping ahead, it's fucked up when he said, "Yeah, only a few people know."
Right.
But yeah,
Great.
so we find out they're running out of food, and they was like, "Look, we saw a couple of deer a couple of miles up the road. Maybe we get them things." Then Ellie was kind of like, "I'm running out of food here too." So, and coincidentally, in the game, after Joel suffers his injury, when you assume the role of Ellie, that's what you're doing, hunting the deer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you hunt the deer, and then of course you have that meetup with David. I want to say his name was James, but you have that meetup where it was like, look, we just here. We ain't trying to start no troubles. She was like, look, if y'all got medicine, I'll let y'all have half. But
I
if
thought
your
that was
boy,
fair.
right? So David was like, no, no, let her go ahead and go get the medicine. It's cool. And how did you feel with the atmosphere of that conversation with David and Ellie when they were sitting
Extremely,
around the fire? Huh?
extremely uncomfortable. Off top, he gave me creepy vibes. He gave
Now,
me creepy, dirty vibes.
I want to say his
James.
look. James, it was James. Okay, so I was right, James. I want to say his look, his character design in the game was more creepier looking,
Mm-hmm.
but the
Ew.
but the actor he was so he did it so well because he was always so calm. Like even when he cast old girl to the ground, he helped her up. He was still so calm, and he was still just like, "You will follow me because I know the way." And they'd be like, "Can you raise your voice up?" but but yeah, so of course he was like, I believe everything happens for reasons. Everything basically ties back into each other because you a man. I mean, you a man, you woman with a man, and we got reports that one of our guys was killed by a man with a girl. So it's just so crazy how everything ties together. He was like,
So
no,
here's
no, no,
my
no, no.
question.
Uh-huh.
The man who was killed, was that old girl daddy, or did they
Yes,
kill old girl daddy to eat him?
that was old girl's daddy.
Okay. I was just curious about that
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
was like, did they kill him to eat him? Because I mean, you
No,
gotta eventually kill some people. They're not gonna all just die like on
yeah.
accident.
No, that
Yeah.
was old girl's daddy. I think I want to say what's the word? The overshadow that they given is they try to hold off and wait till somebody just,
Slump.
and that, sacrifice. They wait till somebody die and then be like, all right, y'all, Jimmy that went on to the Lord. So,
I just feel like, especially because David is David, I feel
mhm,
like three of us go out and there's a shooting accident.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like,
Like, damn, some random people came out and we shot, they shot. Jeremiah didn't make it, y'all.
you make it. So we will bury him in the spring.
Yeah, we'll bury him in the spring. Uh,
Right. What the
but
Maggie's
then,
got to him, there's nothing.
but yeah, we see that James got the gun to Ellie, and he was like, "No, no, 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 James, put the blick away. It's
Right.
cool." And he was like, "Cool, baby, it's cool." And he was like, "You got the medicine? Yeah, go on, give it to her." But David, just give her the medicine, my G. It's all good. Give her the medicine. Now I feel that was a fair trade because y'all took whole deer.
You first of all, you need to bring me something else because you took the whole thing with the antlers.
You took the whole thing.
Right.
So you end up getting a whole deer.
For one shot of
So,
penicillin. Fuck that.
but yeah, so Ellie administered the penicillin to Joel. They bring the deer back, and they're like, "Hey, I provide. I'm providing for my people."
But did
And
you
then,
catch what he said when he was putting the meat in there and he was like, it's venison?
yes,
I was
yes,
like,
and you saw James kind of sniffed it, like, "Fuck, I'm eating human again." Like, James kind of sniffed it, like, "Damn, we sit here eating Martha."
right, it's venison. This is his butt part.
You right? It did too. The way some of them people were eating too, they was just,
But
and
my
they was
thing
like,
is, they
"Damn,
only got like one ladle full. That's it.
right?"
I'm like, bro.
So then from there, David rounds up a whole party and he's like, "Look, I wants the girl alive, and if y'all want y'all vengeance, have at it. But I
Right.
wants the girl alive." Kudos. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Now we're gonna kind of step into the real world for a second. I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Bruce, Aranya's father, because he has taught Aranya situation awareness, and I practice in situational awareness at times. So shouts out to Ellie for noticing them birds and was like, "Wait, something wrong,
Right. That part.
something wrong."
That part. Cause when I say she own it, she pays attention and she thinks quick. I
Now
like
on the scale from to done,
nah,
how mad would Mr. Bruce be if you ain't pay attention to that?
I'd be in trouble and I'm an adult. I'm a whole adult out these streets and he would be mad.
But so Ellie saw that the birds was flying, and she was like, and she saw the group coming, and she's like, Joe, I'm gonna give you this knife. If they make it down here, do what you do best.
Right.
And she was like, Joe,
Wake up.
wake up. Like, wake up.
She
And
was like, I'm gonna draw away.
Shout outs to Tyke B, but she was like, Ellie, that's a bad girl. She got on that horse. Hey, motherfuckers, come get me. She's like, come get me.
The fall that she took.
Whew. And that's the
I
same
see
fall she took in the game too.
I'd still be in a coma. That's
Bam.
the kind of fall that took Bonnie out on Gone with the Wind. You playing? No.
Because the way the horse nose died, she clunks the ground and then
I would still be
tumbles.
just out
I would have
like
still
this
been
with a tube. They would have been like, "We're gonna have to feed her with a tube because she is not moving." What?
and then too, now, as maniacal and as cutthroat as David seemed, one of the dudes, go on, shoot her. And James was about to do it, and David come up there. Fuck, I tell y'all.
Right?
Like
Y'all can't
David
hear
had
me.
that look, huh?
He was looking like y'all can't hear me.
He was like,
I know I
didn't I tell
told
y'all to
y'all to
keep her alive?
and they like
He was
that.
like, look, two of y'all take that horse back. I'm gonna take her. The rest of y'all go find her. How about that? How about that? So they take Ellie back to base. Oh, but see, this is what happens when you don't mind your own business. Oh, buddy, I'm pretty sure everybody on the internet has been seeing that infamous chart. He was being nosy in that house. His fuck around meter was too high. He went down in that basement and he found out that Joel is a man.
That boy is a man. Okay. My
That
thing
boy
is,
was
why
on his deathbed
he got
5 hours ago.
with one shot of penicillin. He
One.
done got stitched up with regular thread. Okay. And now he up and hiding from the man from Red Dead Redemption that's a hayseed. Like, bruh.
Too busy eating no human meat.
Exactly. Teeth just
But
gnawed
yes,
up. Okay.
his fuck around was too high, and he found out that Joel Miller is a man.
A man. And I'm not that damn nosy. I would have went in the house and I'd have been like, well,
He
ain't
ain't in
nobody in
here.
here. I'm gone. Do they have some canned goods in here? That's it. They
But
got
nope,
some corn.
his fuck around was too high, and he found out that Joel was a man, and he got straight ganked. Then subsequently, the other two homies got grabbed. Then we see that they was tied up in just some gangster display. He was like, "Look here, tell me where she is on this map. If the same thing don't match what your homies say, whew."
That boy
So once
is
again, they fuck around was too high because they didn't realize the fuck around was too high because they took Ellie. So he pointed on the map where the resort was at. Joe was
but
like,
he
"I
put that knife
appreciate
in
you."
that man's mouth, though. He put the
Right?
knife in the man's mouth and was like, point like this. Oh, I would have been nervous. He was a hayseed. I know that bitch was moving around and everything. And he got
No,
a point to where it is.
no. So
Bruh.
after he showed Joe, he proceeds to take the knife. You can go and keep that. You can go and keep that right there, right in your chest. You can go and keep that. Hold it for me. That's what Joe said. Hold it for me. And then homie in the back, what? Why did you do that? He told you. He wasn't lying. Yeah, I believe him. He's like, I believe him. Go ahead.
Why did you do that? Y'all were trying to kill me. What you mean? Why did I do that? You thought I was gonna be like, oh, y'all tried to kill me? It's cool. You want to be friends now? The fuck? That's that hayseed mentality, man. Y'all been in this cult too long.
Too long. And then Joe was like, yeah, I believe him. That's cool. And he was like, I ain't telling you shit. I ain't telling you. He was like, I kind of figured. Pipe to the face.
Boom.
Very, very, very Jeffrey Dean Morgan of him. Pipe to the face. Negan. That's the name. That's what I'm thinking of.
We love you, Negan.
Pipe to the face.
Yeah.
Multiple times, most likely.
Yeah. He was a puddle afterwards.
Yeah, he was squish. He was mad squish. Then we go back to the jail cell. Now, as a woman, once again, triggers. So as a woman, I'm gonna let you talk about this scene when they was in the jail cell and he was saying the things he was saying to her. So as a woman, how was you feeling, and what was your emotions going through with this?
First of all, I was totally disgusted, but I had already sensed that this type of scene was going to happen
Mhm.
because he wanted her too bad.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just knocked this other bitch all on the floor. You don't care about kids. You want her for some reason, and
Mhm.
you can't just want her to eat because she's thin and short. No, 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 no. You want her for other reasons, you sick fuck. And my thing is, I've had not gross pedo men touch my hand, and I have felt like my skin was gonna crawl off the bone. Now, for me personally, you know how I am, and you know that I'm secretly a hit woman.
Hmm.
When he had his hand on my hand and she put her hand on top of that, I probably would have rolled with it a little longer
Yeah, to
before
kind of
breaking it.
lower that, give them that trust.
Right, because at the end of the day, you got to let them trust you, and she's small. So, like, I've
Hmm.
never been a small girl. So if I hit you, it's like a ram hit you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, wait, ho. But if he wants you like that, that's disgusting. I would have been so sickened, but I would have lured him in there, and I probably would have bit his nose off or
So,
something like that, and then
so
choked him.
for content sake and for, I guess, visual sake, how tall were you at Ellie's age at 14, 13, 14? How tall were you?
Um, let's see. 14, I would have been what, a freshman in high school. I was probably about 5'5".
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a little more height than what Ellie did. Okay.
Yeah. Ellie's 5'2".
Yeah. So,
And
okay.
she's very thin, and I was always a powder puff girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
was always needy. So I was tall, and I was, yeah.
Okay.
So no. And I probably would have, he would have felt me attack him. I'll say that, because there's no way. I was at 14, I was probably like a size 16, 18,
Hmm.
solid. If I hit you, oh, you gonna be like, wait, oh. But I would have lured him in just to do that, because I figured, I was afraid that he was gonna come back and just start shooting in the cell. And that's what I would have been afraid of.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Because now
Okay.
he looks at you as dangerous. So why would I open the cage to a feral human? No, I'm just gonna shoot in the cell because she can't hurt me if I just shoot in the cell. So I would have lured him in and bit his nose off.
Okay. But yeah, so basically what we were saying, basically what we're alluding to and saying, of course, is David was basically like, look, I know your heart, which they said this was added in the show that, you have a violent heart, just like me. That was new to the show. So basically, David was like, be my bride.
Yeah, he
Be
wants to
my
groom her and
bride.
be his woman.
Be my bride and help me run shit around here. You know what I'm saying? We can rule together. We can iron fist, man and wife. Be my bride. And if you choose to get down, you good. But if you choose to lay down, we gonna chop you up.
And my thing is, that's a lie anyway, because David was too much of a power control freak to actually help relinquish control to someone else. He was
Yes,
just trying to fuck, which is
yes,
gross. She's 14.
yes.
You sick
But
bitch.
once again, triggers, triggers,
Oh,
triggers.
sorry.
No, 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 no. You good. I'm just saying once again, triggers.
So
But
he's a
yes, he
manipulative, horrible individual.
it kind of once again triggers. It kind of makes you wonder how many of those women he might have in the name of religion.
Exactly. And that's what happens when people are power hungry and there's no one to check them.
But so Ellie breaks his fingers, and she was like, "Well, how about you go tell them that you just got your fingers broke by a fucking little girl?"
Because
and
Ellie is that girl.
and James and David come back. They about to get ready to chop her up because she like, I mean, he like, I will not take this brand of disrespect from this little girl. So
Right.
they get her on the table, and she's like, no, no, wait, no, wait, I'm infected. I'm infected. And you infected too, because I bit you. And he was like, bull, check my arm. And then James was like, hey, yo, say, fam, this shit look pretty real to me.
Right.
And once again, let's rewind back to Mr. Bruce. How mad would he be at you if you didn't do the same thing Ellie did, which was taking that meat cleaver and whack?
He would have been mad that I didn't bite the man's nose off.
Ah, okay,
He would
okay,
have been like, no, I taught my daughter better than that. If I bite that man's nose off, gouge his eyes out, and choke him on his own blood, then he'd be like this. That's my baby right there.
okay. But yeah, so she grabs the meat cleaver that David put down, whacks James in the neck. James bleed, not dead. David gets a couple of shots, pop, pop, and Ellie runs off. And we seeing Joel basically trying to find where Ellie's at. He's finding other little areas. He kind of find a little supply room, get some stuff. He's still trying to find Ellie. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of blend the game and the show. The boss battle was pretty much the same, but worked out a little different. So when you get inside the lodge, you have to sneak up on David, like how she did. Now, it wasn't just a one good sneak up and that was it. Now, you had to do it multiple times. So, the first time you kind of sneak up on her, hit him, she runs off. The second time she does it, the second round of hunting around in that whole diner, because you got the whole diner to try to hide, sneak up and everything. David becomes more situational aware. He starts to kind of, check his surroundings more and just do the same thing. Once again, sneak up on him, pop him with the knife. Now, the way the boss battle goes, if he gets you one time, like if he catches you in the boss battle, that's it. Instant death. So what we saw in the show was what happens the third time. So now the third, I think it's 3 times you got to get him. Well, the last time he hides with you, like he hides too. So while you're trying to sneak around, he's doing the same. And you can't attack him from the front. You have to get him from behind. And what we saw, him getting stabbed, them wrestling over the knives and thinking trigger warnings. All right, did you freeze? I think Aranya froze. Trigger warnings. David starts to insinuate some SA. And if you've been rocking with us for a while, you know what SA means. He's about to do some deplorable things. Let's just say that. And Ellie thankfully grabs the machete, or well, I think it was a butcher knife, and goes in. In the game, it was a machete. In the show, it was a butcher knife. And she goes in. She turned that boy's face into chunks, like meaty chunks. She full mounts that boy and goes in. And in the game, Joel stops you. Joel finally walks in. He stops you, and you had that embrace. But in the show, of course, she just keeps chopping at that boy's face until it was probably just mush, like legit mush, like squish. But well deserving for pedo. Well deserving triggers. Well deserving for pedo. Well deserving for somebody who's in a burning building was still willing to commit SA. There's only one sentence question that's for that. Fuck wrong with you, fam? But she stumbles out. Joel grabs her. they have the embrace, and Joe calling her baby girl, very reminiscent of what he called Sarah. So they have that embrace, and they walk on. Episode ends, and it was an episode to watch because once again, anybody who played the game knows that this was going to be a very intense trigger warning episode because it was very intense in the game. Like watching it is one thing, but having to play it and live and relive through it, what I'm saying, having to play it yourself, it was a doozy, but very well done. I hope this isn't one of those roles for the actor who played David that people's gonna be like, that's David. He was creepy. You know how sometimes people play certain roles and it follows them forever. Hopefully this doesn't do it with him, but David mad creepy, yo. To this day, David was one of the more intense, creepiest boss battles I've ever played. And I played a lot of games. And David was still just whew. But episode 8, The Last of Us. We got one more to go, y'all. Uno más. And boy, I cannot wait to see how this ends. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Car Chronicles Reviews, The Last of Us Reviews, The Last of Us Review. Shout outs to King Cordy, Cosmic Boss. Shout outs to Aranya Gorhor Miss, which, she had to go save the world. And that's why she disappeared. Oh, wait, she's back. She's back. Okay. I'm gonna rewind it back. Before we end it, Aranya, how did you feel about that whole sequence of Ellie and David in the diner?
I was like, get him, bitch.
Wait, did she freeze again? Oh, look at the face. Look at the intensity on the face. She froze again.
I think I'm back.
Okay, she back. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was like, get him, because he's dirty and an animal. Get him. Smash him.
And what I said was that it's crazy that he was willing to SA her in a burning building.
Didn't care. And he said he liked the fight in him. He deserved every piece of bleed out that he received. He liked the fight.
And like I said to the public, in the game, as Ellie is whacking him in the face, Joel stops her. Joel grabs her and was like, Ellie, Ellie, Ellie. But, it happened when she was outside in this one. But, they had that embrace. He called her baby girl. And, they was continuing the adventure. But yeah, and I was saying that, to this day, this is still one of the creepiest boss battles I've ever played through. This was still one of the more intense boss battles because of the implications that was going to happen. And it was like, to this day, it still, quote unquote, scars me in a sense because it was like, I have to play this. Like, It couldn't just be one big cutscene. I had to. So, but yeah. So, as a woman, how did this episode make you feel?
I mean, here's the thing. This is what I was thinking about after the episode.
Mm-hmm.
When we have people who are sexual predators around us every day, right? However, in times of apocalypse or war or anything where there's no necessary punishment for said things, people are gonna wild out and they're gonna be gross because they can't be. They can just be out and be doing whatever they're gonna do. So I'm not surprised, because I know there's going to be a lot of cannibals. I know there's going to be a lot of violence that is unnecessary just because the people can do it. And they've been getting away with it for however long, who knows how long he's been doing such filthy things to young girls, so he was just like, "Ooh, I got a fresh face, a fresh new one that's feisty. Oh boy, this is going to be exciting." And he got what he had coming to him.
But Yeah. Last of Us, episode 8.
Yep.
One more to go.
One more, y'all.
One more to go. And I really, really am hoping that they end this episode the way the game ended. Like, I really hope so. Because I gasped when I played the game. Like, it was an audible, like, literally, literally, it was a, so I hope the show ends the exact same way the game ended. But, now let me, now, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of us reviewing The Last of Us. Scootaloo, Aranya Gorford Miss. Shout outs to King Cordy. Hopefully King Cordy will join us for the finale.
Yes.
You know, hopefully King Cordy will be here for the finale. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes, yes.
This has been a ride. This has been a journey. This has been an adventure. And in the words of James and Fuhad of Shits and Gigs, this is a show.
This is a show.
This is a show. And Joel is a man.
Man.
A man. That man was on the brink of death. And you know what? Let's flip the script. Ellie is a girl.
She's like, that girl.
She's that girl. Ellie is that girl. They're just showing that extreme violence to David's face.
Oh, man. And he deserved every stab. Every stab.
David's face. It was a machete in the game.
And the fact that his friend, what did we say his name was? James?
James. Mm-hmm.
You wasn't like, oh no, James. You was like, let me take this hatchet out of your neck and I'm gone. That's supposed to be your second in charge.
Right?
You don't care about nobody but himself. Dirty.
Because he had eyes on the prize.
Yuck. Yuck.
But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Tune in pretty soon. I can say tune in pretty soon. But yeah, pretty soon. We're going to have 2 more CCRs for you. 65, yes. Scream 6.
Yes.
And next week, Last of Us, episode 9.
Yep.
But yeah, tune into them CCRs. We're going to try to get Nico, and we're going to try to do this ninja banter, talk about superhero movies and things of that nature. But yeah, we got content. I think, aren't you and Cosmic supposed to stream Friday or?
Yes, we are going to stream on Friday. We're also streaming Thursday. We will be joining Nico and the TKG members for Sons of the Forest. Tune in to see us.
Shout out to TKG, Planet Nico,
our
Pandemonium Hills,
yeah,
Viking Prince.
That's right. You get to see me running and screaming and
cussing people out.
Oh. And we're still deciding on the game for Friday. But we're leaning toward necessity.
Okay. Well, thank y'all once again for tuning in. Listen to us talk about T-Lou. We appreciate it. And until next time, good people, stay away from the cordyceps.
Do that.
Stay away from the cordyceps.
Exactly.
Don't be like King Cordy. Stay away.
He laying in the pile with all the veins now.
Stay away. Thank y'all, peeps. Peace.
Peace out.